So this is the first page. Of course, I put my signature. I learned to put my signature because sometimes when you are sharing and teaching, you don't have to sign it all the time, but you're going to get a signature with that book. And then dedication. Look what I said. To every tour leader that crossed my path and to every spirit-filled divine moment we share together. Why I said to every tour leader? This book is dedicated to all the leaders, including the pastors, the laymen, the people who invested in my life and I met for the last 20 years in my journey as a tour guide. They always encouraged me to write a book. So this dedication is for every pastor that met my path, me and Tony, that came to the Holy Land, to Israel, and toured with us. They were an inspiration for me to write the information because they came to me, Andre, this is deep information. This is like when we come to a tour, we will remember only 10% of the trip. And probably many of you that are here was on tour with me or Tony at one stage, or you want to come in the future, or you came before, and you do not remember all these insights and in-depth teaching because you're excited to look around, to see the churches, to meet with people. But here, there is a book that you can read at home, and you can get all these in-depth insights and the memories back come to you. So I said, your passion, love, and servants' hearts I deeply admire. And this is to everyone of you who is on this live webinar. I dedicate this book to you. Thank you. And then I wrote about the content. Of course, I have an author note. I just give an introduction about first century life, and then how to travel in the biblical times, which I'll read a little bit later, the family in the first century, and about life expectancy. Just to give you a general introduction about the tour, about lifestyle, about the culture, the custom, and the context. And then some acknowledgement. And then volume 1 is the first 4 days. It speaks about coming through Israel to the airport first day, and then going to Bethlehem. Of course, every day I have a theme. Then first day arrival, the theme is welcome home, arrival to Israel. We're staying 2 nights in Bethlehem. The theme is the birth of Jesus. And then we're going to check out after 2 nights. We go up to Nazareth to learn about the ministry of John the Baptist on the way, and then end in Nazareth and learn about the theme Jesus as a man. So that's only book number 1, which is already 350 pages. Volume 1, which is released today. You can have it today. And then volume 2, as I said, around the Sea of Galilee, 3 days, which is another maybe 400 pages would be. The Sea of Galilee is amazing. We're going to speak about day 5, 6, and 7, becoming a disciple, and then the theme, the Roman Empire. We're going to go to the Golan Heights, and then we're going to see the healing ministry of Jesus around the lake, and then going all the way to Caesarea, the Gentile Pentecost, and ending up in Jerusalem. And that is the last volume, another 3 days in Jerusalem. The crucifixion, death, burial, and resurrection will be another 300, 400 pages, which is already written, but going to be published very soon, hopefully. And then the city of the kings, God establishes his temple in Jerusalem. And literally what I do in this volume 3, I'll take you through a walking tour. So all this book is like a walking tour. You can hold that book and remember the 10-day journey in Israel as if you were there. And especially the one in Jerusalem. You're going to walk from one side to another side, learning the depth about the insights of Jesus. So it's like a touring book. This can be used for tour guides, and this can be used by you if you want to bring a group in the future. All the information is for you there to share with people. This information for everyone to share. And anyway, so, and also this book is made like a manual guidebook For example, you can go to any page and read about, this is only like the introduction, first page, but look, then later Bethlehem. You can learn about the Zealots, you can go to the page, you can go about, learn about the tomb of Herod and Herodian, any subject, the bathhouse, about like any subject. You see sheep and shepherds, about what's unique also, I used Aramaic words. This is Dawood, right? Now this book is challenging. Actually, the 3 volumes. I tested it in volume number 1. I don't know how much you will like it or not, because I will put Aramaic words. In purpose, this is my challenge. In purpose, I want you to learn Aramaic. So I put Aramaic words, but don't worry. There are footnotes in the book. And in that footnotes, I'm going to show you an example. You see how many subjects I'm talking about? Like everyday Nazareth, the miracle, first miracle, the wedding ceremony. But let me jump and show you what I'm talking about. Footnotes. Like here, for example, every page have a footnote. I suggest the best way is to take a pencil with you. And whenever you find a footnote for here, like number 1, in 3 books, we will journey together to 10 days and trace the life of Yeshua. You see here, number 1 footnote. Because I just put it the first time, Yeshua, which literally in Aramaic means Jesus. I know this is a simple example I started with. You write Jesus on the top. Because the next time you're going to read it, there will not be a footnote if it's mentioned 1 time. And for example, from his birth in Bethlehem. This is not English. This is Aramaic. I know it will be like this book will hurt your mind when you read. And in a good way, which means you say Bethlehem, what is that? It should be Bethlehem. So you go to the footnote and it's Bethlehem in Aramaic. So write Bethlehem on the top in a pencil. Because next time it's repeated, I'm not putting a footnote. So there are so much, I'm obliging the reader to learn Aramaic. I want this Aramaic to be born in the Western world. And this way it will make you, I know you're going to be a little bit, no, this book is tedious. I tell you, this is like, in a way, an academic book. In a way, it's not an easy read. But you're going to go back to this book several times. You can go by subject, you can go by site, and you can learn so much from it, especially from the Aramaic portion. So why I'm done this? Look, my approach in this book is encouraging you to challenge and stretch yourself to learn little Aramaic. I'm not wanting from you to be fluent in Aramaic, all right? It will take years and years, but I want you to start to think like Jesus, because it's essential for mature Christians to read and learn a few Aramaic words, the ones at least Jesus spoke, some of them, in hopes of deepening our appreciation of the biblical narrative. The aim is not fluency, but whetting the appetite. Aramaic words carry emotions. I'm going to speak a lot about the emotional text of the Aramaic scripture. It's more relational. Remember I mentioned the womb hobo, the word love, but it's not love in the English language. It means deeper than that. It's the relationship between the woman that gave birth and a child. When you're holding a baby or you're holding a child, you have this special love that you have towards what you created, right? These deep relations, deep emotions are expressed well in Aramaic, and especially when Jesus was born to this world, which I speak about it in his birth in Bethlehem. And if you want to deepen your Aramaic and you want to do in-depth learning of the alphabets and start to read the Aramaic Bible, of course, you can go to the Twins Biblical Academy and take the Aramaic course. Anyway, so let me read for you a little bit about first century lifestyle, not a lot, but a little bit about what is written. This is my notes. I like to go off the beaten path of studying scripture. Anyone who has been with us on tour, he will know that we don't take the regular path. So when I'm with my groups, I stray away from the normal churches, buildings, and the hustle and the bustle of the tourists, and go to different places. Of course, when the war will finish, things will come back, but that is it's gonna be so crowded. So in these 3 books, we will journey together for 10 days and trace the life of Yeshua from his birth in Bethlehem to his childhood in Nazareth. Nazareth is Aramaic for Nazareth. Then his first hometown will move, his first town, Nazareth. Then we will move to his second hometown in Galilee, Kfar Nahum, not Capernaum. So here I did not write Capernaum, but I wrote Kfar Nahum, which is the Aramaic for Capernaum. Kfar is a big village. Nahum is comfort. This is the name of the village of comfort. This is where Jesus found comfort and stays there. To learn about his ministry before moving on to Orishlim. What is Orishlim? Number 5. You go down to the footnotes. Number 5 is Jerusalem. So Orishlim in Aramaic is Jerusalem, right on top of it, Jerusalem. Because next time there will be no, after Orishlim, there will be no footnote. So anyway, so I speak a little bit about introduction of the book. Let me give you also what I wrote about traveling in biblical times, very short, because I want you to get to that mindset. A good teacher will bring his readers to understand how Jesus and his followers and the people lived at that time of history. In order to understand the scripture, we have to understand the writer's mindset. What context did they write in? How did they live at that time? So look at speaking about traveling. What equipment did they take with them on their travels? How did they transport and carry equipment? Imagine today when you travel Southwest or any flight, you'd think about the luggage, but how did ancient times think about the luggage? What food did they eat during their journeys? What animals they used? Donkeys, horses, camels, sheep, goats? Did also they usually travel in foot? I will have all these answers later. Because donkeys, sheep, and goats were important in Yeshua's time. Today, what is important is Tesla here in America, right? If you have a Tesla, you are cool, right? You can transport from one place to another. But anyway, donkeys were beasts of burden, carrying tents for shelter at night, sleeping mats, straw, sacks of wheat, dates, olive oil. These were the luggage compartment, right? The donkeys. They carry everything on the donkeys. Tony, do you remember when living in the old city, the donkeys were the only way to bring the water and to bring the, like, there is no grocery stores used to be like here. You go here to HEB.
Actually, the donkeys are the best architect, because they know the best way to maneuver, the easiest way to go through.
Yeah, we used to buy the water carried on a donkey, and then till today, Tony, there is some things carried to the old city on a donkey. If you move to in the old city, like the gas, like the fridge if it's heavy. Anyway, too much information. So anyway, then I speak about the family, all right, and then I speak about the life expectancy, how people lived, how long they lived, and all of that. But this is like one part of the book.